That's why Shador got up there and got fucking obliterated because he don't know how to set the goddamn protection and re-ID the mic. So guess what? We get up to the line of scrimmage and just snap and run the play. We got guys running everywhere. We got twists. We got guys coming free. No side adjust, no hot. We have no idea what's going on with roll coverage. And then if you ask Mina Kimes, guess what?
Let's bring in Coach now. And hey, Coach Mike, sincere condolences to what happened. I mean, because again, it looked like he really made an impact in the Oakland community, and I just want to throw that out there to you guys, man, because it looks like to me that that's a tough one there.
Yeah, we're parts away. We've actually sat down quite a bit through the coaching world because he replaced me on Netflix, and then he did his thing in Northern Cali. I'm a Southern Cali guy, so we obviously had a lot of the similarities that dealing with the kids that we dealt with. But yeah, it shouldn't happen on any college campus in this country. It's an absolute mockery and a shame. And Oakland, good old Kamala Harris and all them, they wanted to get people off the college campus with guns, like security and officers. And Coach Beam, even though he come forward, hey, Dan, we need cops. We need cops, Mr. President, on our campus. We need cops. Took him away, and unfortunately, he gets gunned down on a fucking college campus. It's an absolute shame.
Absolutely, Coach. And again, our condolences there for that. All right, Coach, I want to get please do me a favor, and I want you to give me, and not that you would never, I want you to give me, you're recruiting Jalen Hurts right now as a pro quarterback. I want you to give me your honest assessment of what you've seen with this quarterback. And again, I know he's on a great team, but I want you to go skill set wise. You tell me if I'm wrong on how you look. I look at him as a limited quarterback in this league. How do you look at him?
I think I'm telling you, man, listen, this is a very, very simple issue to fix. The people that like him, he wins fantasy dollars for on DraftKings and FanDuel. It's period. That's what it is. Same with Patrick Mahomes. The same with a lot of these overrated quarterbacks. They get you 45 draft points or FanDuel points or whatever it is, and then you anoint them as the greatest quarterback in football. When I watch the film, I say, holy shit. He threw 18 bubble screens and a slip screen, and he threw for 280 because he had a Tyreek Hill type of guy out there, and he threw the ball 6 yards, and it went 80. And then we think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I actually watched the film, wide and tight, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's bad. He won't throw the ball in the teeth of the coverage. He has no anticipatory window throws, and he's inaccurate as hell. Jalen Hurts threw a fade ball that A.J. Brown beat the guy on by 3 yards, and not only did he miss him, he missed him out of bounds in the end zone. The last guy I knew that was like that where they won a Super Bowl was the Baltimore Ravens and Trent Dilfer. And I actually knew the GM there because he was a coach at Compton College when I was a little kid. And he was Ozzie Newsome's right-hand man, Art Perkins, legendary running back. He was like, JB, Billick just tried to save him and continue to be motivational and keep it up. It's all right. It's all right. And then he, on the headset, he was like, God damn, this guy's fucking shitty. Like, that's what it was because he'd throw Shannon Sharp out of bounds. Like, that's what Jalen Hurts is. And listen, I don't know if there's a more, what do they call that? An anomaly? Like, this may be an anomaly. Like, this may be the most successful organization in the history of football with a quarterback that's this bad, and they just continue to win. Like, I don't know if I've seen anything like it. And then you got A.J. Brown, who's clearly disgruntled. And the bottom line is, just like the Shador Sanders fans, I call them prime sexuals. You got Eagle sexuals too, and that's just what it is. And one of my best friends is an Eagle fan, diehard, and he knows Jalen's not that good, but they continue to win despite of him, man. So shout out to the Eagles and Sirianni getting it done, but it just seems like something's going to hit them in the mouth here, and that's why the Rams got to keep winning because I want the Rams to play them at home.
Do you think you can win? Do you think that you can win with having a defense that's getting better and playing great And having this inept offense like this, do you think – see, I think the problem that AJ has is he thinks they're going to leave multiple Super Bowls on the table. Because you're right. What did Brian Billick do the following year, even after Dilfer won the Super Bowl? He went to Kyle Bowler. He got rid of that guy the following year after that and just dumped the guy because he knew he needed a more prolific quarterback to be able to win the game. Do you think this is sustainable?
He got money already, so he won't be traded or set, I don't believe. But I don't know if it's sustainable, man. I just think eventually, I don't know. Like, you have to continue to run the offense the way they run it, and you got to have a big-time back, and you got to have a great O-line. Once that goes down, you're going to see that a huge shift, because at the end of the day, he's going to have to become then a guy that can get the ball out on time, on rhythm, and be accurate. Right now, you can live with running some double and triple option, running a little bit of RPO, a little play action, and keeping these things in the, keeping them afloat, basically, is what I would say. Once that goes away, and you got no Saquon threat, and your O-line, like you're going to see this week and the next few weeks without Lane Johnson, what happened?
Yep. No Lane.
Because look at what Patrick Mahomes has looked like without a left tackle, and look what they look like against Denver. And I'm just telling you, I don't know if it's sustainable long term, because he is not a clear and precise, accurate quarterback from the pocket, and he definitely has to get everything he throws and completes. If you notice, and I got the I break this down all 22 wise on DV Sport. Everything he completes is off schedule.
Huh?
Go look at what he does on schedule. Show me some clips where he drops back, hits his fifth step, and the ball comes out on time, and it's accurate on A.J. Brown. By the way, the first ball, what did he do? Behind him on a slant. If he throws it out here, because A.J. routed the shit out of the corner, and he's sitting there with his dick in his hand because the ball is back here. So this is the issue. Show me the film, because I have the film, and I'll break it down with any of you fanboys in the chat. And I would love to show me that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, he don't throw shit on time, and everything is basically off schedule, meaning he escapes the pocket, gets on the run, on the edge, and he'll make a big play, and he'll ooh and awe you because he got out of the pocket. But the guy was actually open 3 seconds earlier on time for a touchdown. And I'm just telling you, I watched the shit. I know what the hell I'm doing. I only got 8 quarterbacks in the NFL, 28 guys playing, 8 Super Bowl champs, but what the fuck do I know? So all I'm saying is throw the ball on time when you have a clean pocket like he does, because what you see is a lot of guys escape the pocket when they actually should be stepping up in the pocket with their eyes downfield. He doesn't. As soon as he sees traffic and congestion on the outside on the grass, he'll escape the pocket. And I think we have to understand we have failed the quarterback position so badly in this country, in the football world. And I say this country because youth football, high school, college, pro, it's the worst quarterback position it's ever been. And you can watch it on any given Sunday and tell me, have you ever seen quarterbacks throw for under 100 yards in your fucking life in the NFL?
No.
Oh, under 200 yards, 17 quarterbacks last week. Have you ever seen it in your life? I haven't.
No.
This is ridiculous, man. They live on bubble screens, slip screens, tunnel screens, sprint out, throw it back to the tight end, sprint out, throw it to the back. Are you seeing any in-cut routes, basics, drives, comebacks, comeback, post corner, post? I'm talking all quarterbacks. I've been the hardest guy on Patrick Mahomes his whole career. I think Andy Reid saves him tremendously. I don't know if any of these guys would have ever played in the early 2000s, or definitely not in the 90s. These guys are more gifted than we've ever seen. Josh Allen and all these freaks, but they're not quarterbacks. Remember, I want your audience to understand something. There's athletes that play quarterback, and then there's fucking quarterbacks who are athletic. There's a big difference in those two things. We get all these great recruits out of college. We recruit the best talent to go to college. By the way, we take a 5-star guy and we recruit him and we take him to college. And you know what we do with them? He's better than everybody else, because it's not about the X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes at the college level. So guess what? Lamar Jackson's going to freak the shit out of you at Louisville, win a Heisman, Because guess what? You ran the wrong play call, but he made two of you guys miss. And then Lamar Jackson's a Heisman, and everyone thinks he's the first pick, and he's going to be a great Super Bowl champion quarterback. Well, really, he's not. And in the playoffs, he's got 3 wins. Because at the end of the day, he hasn't progressed because we have failed him. We failed these type of guys. My dick would be hard, Dan, if I could get a Lamar Jackson and coach him. We have failed him mechanically, cerebrally. We don't get him to the line of scrimmage anymore. Everything's a wristband or fucking card of holding Stephen A. Smith or some fucking idiot on the sideline. We don't verbalize the protection in there. That's why Shador got up there and got fucking obliterated because he don't know how to set the goddamn protection and re-ID the mic. So guess what? We get up to the line of scrimmage and just snap and run the play. We got guys running everywhere. We got twists. We got guys coming free. No side adjust, no hot. We have no idea what's going on with roll coverage. And then if you ask Mina Kimes, guess what? Make me a sandwich. So guess what? If you ask Mina Kimes and people like that, guess what they do? They tell you that quarters coverage is the deep. You throw it deep on quarters. So it's a mockery, man. It's a joke. And at the end of the day, man, it's a cold business we're in.
Let me ask you then, do you think that with Hurts having a coordinator new every single year, do you think that's also an organizational mistake too? That, I mean, Brady said it the other day when he had that line, he goes, who are they hiring for these guys? And you just kind of hit on it. Who are you hiring to teach these guys on what they need to see? Like you said, finding your landmarks, finding out pre-snap reads, looking at finding where you think pressure's coming from. Hey, and you want to hear this too, Coach? To your point, last year's the first year Jalen Hurts had learned how to set protections. He's an NFL quarterback. That used to be high school stuff that you were taught how to be able to set protections. You could never play in the 90s like that with not knowing where Lawrence Taylor's coming from. You would get your head knocked off. Do you think that is a disservice, though, having all these new coordinators for him every year?
It is, and that's a one thing where I save, where I kind of save, Jalen for that. So like, I think Jalen he's kind of exceeded expectations because he's had 4 coordinators. And here's the issue, like that I see. It's hard to find these guys because they're getting jobs and et cetera, and we're moving around and then we're losing them basically either after Super Bowl and they already know they're leaving. So kind of you saw that with Gannon and when he left and went to the Arizona Cardinals, and you saw Andy Reid absolutely destroy him schematically because I don't believe he was in it. And I thought that was a disservice to Sirianni and all those guys, basically knowing you're taking a job. And it's a disservice to these kids and all and the players. I think that needs a change. There's no reason to hire an NFL guy that early. You don't have to recruit. This isn't college. So we don't need to lose coordinators that quickly, by the way. Let them go through the Super Bowl if they're on a run, and then hire them later. You got scouting offices and shit in place, right? The last time I checked, the Arizona Cardinals had a scouting department. So we see it every year, though. And I don't see why these guys have to leave and do what they do. At least Steichen waited, right, as far before he left, and then Jalen had to get a new OC. So I give him a pass on the OC thing because we go through this a lot. But we got to keep the same energy and give Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and all these other quarterbacks who everybody shitted on when I said no, give them some time.
Mac Jones, too.
Mac Jones, all these guys, and now look what they're doing and see what they're doing. So it's very interesting, man, to be honest. So, like, listen, I just think that Jalen Hurts has to persevere and get through it, but also I got to see some progression. I haven't seen him get better, though.
You think he's regressed? You think he's regressed?
Mechanically, he's gotten better.
Okay.
But I don't know what's happened, like, other than that. Like, you're telling me that the coordinator position is solely holding him back. We could debate and argue it, but at some point, I got to
place.
Yeah, man, I got to see guys getting hit on time. I do not see anything on time come out of his hand and I do not see any balls thrown into the teeth of the coverage. Just show me. Like, you'll see a guy, he'll show a crosser or something here and there to Devontae or somebody on the crossing route if he knows it's straight up man coverage. But I hadn't seen nothing against true, cover 3 and outside backer drops and he throws it in the window right off his earlobe on a dig cut or a curl route. Like, do we not throw curls anymore in football? Like, I'm telling you, man, I ain't seen a goddamn ball on time by any quarterback. I'm not talking Jalen Hurts. I'm talking everybody. And if you look at the plays these guys are making, look at Josh Allen's last game where he ripped it and did all these numbers. But really, all ad-lib plays. Look at the plays he makes, man. He's a freak of nature. But I ain't seen a guy catch the ball, throw it on time, and put your foot in the ground and stick it. It's all running around, making plays, running over guys, all this shit. And it's just like, man, I don't think people realize that's not quarterback play. And it's not sustainable, Dan, because you're going to have guys injured. That's why Lamar missed so many games. That's why Kyler Murray's not playing right now. That's why these guys aren't sustainable in the pockets. And I'm telling you, they could be as good as they are, use their feet when they have to, or when they need to, instead of just using their feet to use their feet. That's the problem.
Why are the Rams the best team in the NFL and notably in the NFC right now, in your opinion?
Because they have the only quarterback that's
right.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback in football. I've been saying that for a long, long time. And listen, Devontae Adams leads the league in touchdowns. He's not even the 10th top targeted guy in football. He leads the league in touchdown because Nakua gets most of the targets and the catches, and Matthew Stafford put him in Philly.
That's a great stat right there. So say that again to people, because AJ bitches about targets. He's not even in the top 10 in targets, but he leads the NFL in touchdown catches.
Devontae Adams,
quarterback.
Yeah, swap the wideouts, swap the teams, and see what you get. You imagine Matthew Stafford in Philly?
Oh, God.
With Goddard and Saquon, who I can catch and be another receiver. That's kind of like the Rams and the greatest show on turf with Marshall. I mean, I would love to see a Stafford with all those guys. I like Williams, but Williams is not a pass catcher. The Rams back. And Stafford with those guys would be ridiculous. Or you swap them, and you would have Devontae Adams reading the fucking book and Nakua back on the rock. So, like, I'm just telling you, people don't realize there's a huge difference, man. They're the best. They got the best. I think the second best D-line pass rush in football behind the Broncos. I think Verse and those guys, young. I love what they're doing that way. Their secondary's got to get some work done, but offensively, if Stafford can stay high, I think the Rams are the best play caller in football right now. I think Andy Reid overall is the best of all time, but I think McVay right now, with what he has to work with, is the best play caller right now this year in football. And I think he keeps Stafford upright and keeps them moving around. I think they're good. See, right now they're rolling. Last year, what happened is they had 21 O-line shifts, meaning they had to move tackle to guard to center, a center to tackle. They had 21 O-line shifts last year, and they were losing, and then they got hot, right? They played Philly in Philly. Stafford still threw for 330 in the damn snow in Philly. Rams should have, Rams win that game. They're Super Bowl champs also last year.
Yeah.
But they didn't get hot till late. This year, I think they host Philly and get that off their head. Because right now, Philly is the kryptonite. Philly owns the Rams right now the last 3 games. And so right now, the Rams got to get through that, over that hump. And that's just kind of like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is the Rams. He ended his career in Minnesota last year in the playoffs. This year, last week, he throws 4 picks, and they were still in the game. So I think Seattle's really good. Philly, the Rams. I think those teams. Detroit, I think, is fugazi just because like I said before the season, losing Ben Johnson is ultimately going to bite them in the ass. So I think those are the top 3 guys in the NFC. I don't know if an NFC North team is a real true contender this year. I don't believe in Love. I think Goff is a deer in headlights. Anytime you need him, he's shitty. And let me defend Jalen real quick. Hurts. For all the big arm talk about Jared Goff and all the praise he gets. Well, coach, it was 35-mile-an-hour winds last game. But fucking Jalen Hurts had the same wind. Did he only face going north? I'm trying to figure. Don't the field swap every quarter?
Yes, they do.
Goff is the same guy. You know why we traded Goff and got Stafford? Because we wanted to win.
Hey, Coach, who are you buying more? You buying Patriots or Colts? Or maybe none.
I'm not buying either one, but like I think they're much improved. I've been on the Daniel Jones thing. I've been telling people he's very, very underrated and good. He just needs to be around a competent, structured environment. Brian Daboll, I like him, but he's failed quarterbacks, as you've seen, which is unfortunate because I like his fire and grit. But at the same time, you take away Saquon, you take away some things in New York, and guess what happens? Add Saquon to Philly. It's kind of funny how that swapped, right? You give him a guy named Jonathan Taylor, and then all of a sudden Daniel Jones is in the MVP conversation again. And it's funny how that works. You get some confidence around a quarterback in an organized environment, and guess what? He pretty much thrives. So is Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, since everybody shitted on him, they pretty much in the conversation of comeback player of the year or MVP. I don't know. Colts defense I like. If Daniel Jones can continue to feed Pierce and Pittman, and Jonathan Taylor is on a track to become maybe one of the all-time best leading rushers in a season, if he can do what he's doing, is that sustainable? Can he carry the team if Daniel Jones kind of hits a wall? I don't know. But Drake May as well, second-year guy, sophomore slump. Once he gets to the playoffs, the book changes, meaning the scouting report. Yep. That's why Lamar struggles in the playoffs, because we kind of know we fire zone him and drop guys out, and D-line drops out, and Lamar's holding his dick in his hand, don't know where to go. It happens for a lot of these quarterbacks. If you can't throw it on time, guess what you do when you muddy up the box, when you're running double and triple and read option, and now you don't know what he's doing. That's why they lose in the playoffs. Dak Prescott as well. So there's a lot of these guys that struggle in the playoffs because the book gets out after 18 weeks, and now we change shit up in the playoffs. I'm worried for Drake May and Daniel Jones in that regard. So I'm not sure if I'm a believer, even though New England's won 8 or 9 in a row, and Indy I got to see here in LA play the Rams. I don't know, man. I'm not sold on an AFC team this year, to be real with you. I don't know if I'm sold on an AFC team.
You think the Super Bowl comes out of the NFC then? Yeah,
definitely. Definitely. And listen, we'll see this week, because I think the Chiefs are going to bounce back this week. They got the Colts, but I think the Chiefs are done as well. But I think they'll bounce back and beat the Colts. That's my lock.
Playoffs?
I don't think so. I think Denver is another team. Are we seriously gonna call them and say, all right, this is my.
Well, they beat the Chiefs and the Eagles, who are the last 2 Super Bowl teams. I mean, I'm with you. When you look at a resume, you go, yeah, I don't really see it. And I'm like, Bo Nix, I mean, he seems limited. I mean, do you buy Denver?
They're in the same boat. That's why I'm like, I'm not sold, man. I was buying the Chargers before they lost Slater and Alt. And then they lose their running back. And then they lose, like, I don't think Justin Herbert's that guy when it comes to having limited weapons or not a perfect pocket. So that's my worry with Justin. And he's got to win a playoff game. By the way, at the end of the day, he hasn't won a damn playoff game.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud has 2. He has 0. So, like, I thought the Texans were going to be better than they were. They've been my guy Tank Dell's there. Without him, CJ has struggled a little bit with just Nico out there. I think the AFC, man, Jacksonville's pretty better than we thought maybe. The defense is holding them together. If Sunshine can get it going. Brian Thomas has kind of been a bust to date, which we thought we had high hopes for. I don't know, man. It's interesting in the AFC. But listen, Sean Payton won Super Bowl. The Denver keeps winning. Defense travels. Losing their back is big. But here's the thing. Do you trust them? And Bo Nix, another 2-year, second-year quarterback. Sophomore slumps are a real thing, Dan, and you know that. And Bo and Drake, both 9-2 or whatever, but they got sophomore QBs. I don't trust them in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. AFC is interesting. Maybe the Ravens are gonna run the table and get back in the mix here with Pittsburgh and coming down to the wire in that division because the other 2 teams are out. So, like, this is a very interesting AFC this year. To be honest.
Absolutely here. Okay, so this Sunday the Eagles take on the Cowboys. I want you to give me your overall assessment on Dak. I mean, it's 10th year now. He's 10 years in. I don't really think the Cowboys have built really fundamentally some good players around him. I think they've really made a lot of mistakes when it came to their contracts. I mean, every single time, one thing Howie Roseman does, as you see, Howie Roseman and them, they give the money up front, Coach, so that they can back in these contracts so they're escalating down so they don't have to get rid of players. They add those void years, those phony years, so that you don't have big hits against the cap. The Cowboys don't operate like that. They overpay their guys, and that means they have to exit a lot of players off their team. Dak was excellent last night. I get it. It's against the shitty Raiders, okay? And I understand that. Raiders aren't going anywhere. What's your overall take on what kind of player Dak has been? Has he been an upgrade from Tony Romo? I'm not sure what that even means.
No. Tony Romo's a top 10 ball spinner of all time, in my opinion. Ball spinner. But they're the same. They can't win a damn playoff game. They have no it factor. The it factor is an undefinable word that people don't understand what it means. And that's the it factor is something that we just can't break down, right? We don't know what that means. But it means you got it. You fucking know how to win. You win it when it counts. Jalen Hurts has it factor, in my opinion. He got the Super Bowl win. That's it already. He's already one of one as far as going down in lore of Philadelphia Eagle fans. But at the same time, you got to win in the playoffs. Dak Prescott, to me, is the most overpaid, under-delivering quarterback in the history of football. Because I broke down their rosters over the last 8 years, and they've had 6 of those 8 years, they've had the best roster in football.
Wow.
Like, just look at the rosters the last 6. Now, not the last 2 years. I'm talking go back to last. He's been in the league 10. Go back 6 and look at their roster. You have them, 49ers, which I think Shanahan's the most overrated coach in football, and the Cowboys. Those rosters failed to give a Super Bowl. And by the way, the Niners and the Cowboys combined are what? 56 years since the Super Bowl? So, like, just do the math. All those loaded rosters, and you failed to win the whole thing. That is to me putting hubcaps on a Lamborghini. Because that's what they did. They put hubcaps on a Lamborghini. Brock Purdy is hubcaps on a Lamborghini. Porn star Jimmy were hubcaps on a Lamborghini. And the last time before that, you had a Kaepernick, which was really just a guy that can make plays with his feet. And Harbaugh, being a great play caller and play designer, gets them to a Super Bowl and damn near wins it. And they haven't been that team since. So you have choked off your roster, and then the Niners depleted their whole roster last year, and now look at them. So look, Shanahan wins games in the regular season, does a great job, but he can't win the big one. And either for some reason can Jerry Jones and this organization in Dallas. And I like Jerry now on Landman over owning the team.
All right. Do you agree that Aaron Rodgers, one of the things that we're starting to see him become human, because as you know, Coach, when you saw him in Green Bay, that touchdown to interception ratio, you may never see anything like that again with a guy with 450 touchdowns, less than 100 picks. You're not going to see that like ever again with his accuracy. Do you think what we're seeing more of a human Aaron Rodgers now because his ability to get out in the open space? I thought he was a weapon when he got out, rolled out in the perimeter, and he was able to dissect the field. You know, you lose that as you're 41 years old, and I get it. That's why we're seeing more of a human guy now in the pocket where you're getting more turnovers. You know, you create space when you're in the open end like that and out in the open. Is that what we're seeing kind of with Rodgers now? He's limited now as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's limited, man. Here's the thing, man. I like Aaron. I don't like this Aaron. I liked Aaron, though, his whole life. He's a JUCO guy from California like me. So is Josh Allen and so many others. But he is not that guy anymore due to whatever, the Achilles, the other shit, ayahuasca, dark retreat, whatever the fuck he does. But it's become more of a spectacle off the field than it is on. But here's what I'll give him, though. He got screwed in Pittsburgh with not drafting wideouts. Jordan Love's got every wideout in America, and to me, he's another overpaid, under-delivering guy. And then you get to Pittsburgh, you get rid of George Pickens, who may be the best wideout in football, biggest shitbird in football, but he might be the best wideout, right? We know shitbirds are your best players. It is what it is. If you can get them to the yard and get them through the process, you've succeeded. Just like, you know, Bill Parcells and everybody says, you get your best player. Your shitbird is your best player. If you can get him to buy in, then you got the whole team. So you get Pickens there in Dallas to buy in, then they may have a shot offensively, but their defense is so bad. But Dan, like, I don't know if Pittsburgh, do they even have a number 2 in the NFL at wideout?
Didn't they draft that kid from Ohio State, that Will Howard kid?
The quarterback, yeah.
They did. I mean,
they've activated him too. They activated him too.
Yeah, because of the hand injury, right?
Yeah, and then you can argue, people are out there arguing and debating now that, you know, Mason Rudolph looked better than Aaron and they threw the ball down the field and blah, blah, blah.
They're not contenders or anything, right? They're just pretenders.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They have no weapons on the edge. They have no weapons. And I think
you're not a fan of DK Metcalf?
No, 2 years ago I said I think he's one of the most overrated wideouts in football. He's looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. That's what he is, right? What is he most famous for? Can anyone answer me the question? Why is DK Metcalf famous?
Because he looks like he's like carved out of a steak.
No, because he chased a guy down on a pick.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, he ran a guy down the fucking field and gave great effort, Dan. And that's all we ever talk about. That's all the guy's ever done. Like, let's be honest. He drops balls that he should catch. He can't fucking make a play when it matters. He drops more balls than he catches, wide open. And I'm just saying, if I'm known to chase down a guy over catching an 80-yard touchdown to win a game, then there's a problem. And that's who the guy is. I thought it was a big bust. Now, if you would have kept Pickens and had him, I could see it because he needed Tyler Lockett. He needed another guy. He don't have another guy, and we thought Austin was going to be a little bit better in the slot for them than he has been. But when your primary personnel group is 31 personnel, and I'm fucking in 13 and 12 and 31 and all kind of crazy shit, and I ain't got no wideouts on the field, and I got a 300-pound tight end as my primary weapon and Big Washington over there from Georgia, we got a major problem, Pittsburgh. Like, why am I in 13 personnel, Dan, and one wide receiver on the field? That's telling, right? I got to go get a wideout, and I have no clue why they didn't make a move for either A.J. Brown or, which I thought they were going to do, or someone else. They couldn't get another wideout. Blows my mind. And
so you think it was a mistake getting rid of Pickens?
I'm all for addition by subtraction because, listen, if anybody understands wideouts and prima donnas, it's
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. I mean, you never heard a peep out of AB, right? Ever.
No, not Le'Veon Bell, too. You never heard a peep out of them guys.
And then AB leaves and he becomes a fucking shitbird, right?
Yeah.
So, like that's whatever Tomlin does, I'm going with. I think he's one of the greatest coaches in football. And so he leaves, and I'm like, all right, you know, maybe that's what it is. He's a cancer, whatever. But you lost talent, right? You lost talent, and now you go get DK, and you don't have no talent around him. So now I'm doubling DK. If you watch it, they're bracketing DK. They're trailing DK. They got a guy over the top of DK, and then he has nobody but 3 big-ass slow tight ends. That's all. That's all they got. So, and they're not really running down your throat like you would think in 13 personnel or all these other 12 personnel and their motion. You're not getting a lot of run game out of it like you would think. But then you do get 13 personnel. What do? You get fucking 9 in the box, and I'm supposed to win, DK, one-on-one matchups when I got 9 in the box and you ain't winning. And then Aaron's either missing you or got distress in the pocket. So now we have a fundamental issue. And that's where it is, man. That's where I think this is fell. Aaron Rodgers has kind of got the short end as far as wideouts for about the last 6 years.
I've got to throw this at you here, and there's a report going around now in Philadelphia about Hurts, and I want to get your opinion on this. There's a guy that's really respected in Philadelphia. His name is Derek Gunn. He is, close to many of the people in the organization. He's well respected. And he reported this a couple days ago saying that there's a rift between Jalen Hurts and the organization, and then they're becoming frustrated with Jalen Hurts because in these meetings, they're pointing out that the missed throws, they're pointing out some of the deficiencies, and Jalen Hurts and these coaches are basically not on the same page. And it's becoming frustrating to the offensive coaches, to Sirianni, to Kevin Patullo, to everyone that's inside the organization. I mean, and as you know this, today in the NFL, you don't get access to these teams. If you start talking shit and you got a key fob and you want to go back in and you want to have an opportunity to cover the team, they're going to X-nay that shit because they like to control all of that. That's not just an Eagle thing. That's 32 NFL teams that like to do that to an excess. Now, here's a guy that's well-respected. He knows Brandon Graham. He's friends with Big Dom. I know him pretty well as well. What's your takeaway on that, Dad? It sounds a little bit like the coach and the player, offensive coordinator, all of them are just not on the same page. And the wide receivers are all kind of going, the coaches are right. Hurts is missing us.
Unfortunately, we live in the player empowerment era, though.
That's what another one was this. Jalen knows he's not going to be benched because of his contract and the hits against that's also what came out in it. That Hurts feels entitled right now. Guess what? I don't give a shit what they're saying. They're not going to bench me because of the contract that we signed.
Yeah, and I'm even take a step further. Like player empowerment has basically, to my mind, that's what the transfer portal has done. That's what everything has done in college football. It's ruined the game, in my opinion, because these guys, load management and all the other shit that we've done, all player empowerment. So when that happens, you take away, fundamental discipline, and you take away accountability. So when the player empowerment era took over about 8-9 years ago, in my opinion, football has become so soft and become so coddled that we no longer can get in your ass. We can't hold you accountable. We can't tell you that here's the fucking film. You missed it. I called the right play. You missed it. You can't do it anymore. Now you'll be canceled. You're mean, all this shit. And remember, correction is not fucking criticism. I don't understand why people think correction is criticism.
It's constructive.
If I didn't fucking like you, I wouldn't have recruited you.
Right.
So I'm just so soft. It's so soft. I hate hearing player empowerment. Gimme. But don't expect or demand shit from them. Blows my mind. Because you'd be fired at your 9-to-5 job. So that's what people don't understand, and they don't want to put that shit in context. Here's the problem, though. They've already given them the money, and we've already seen the Doug Petersons of the world win a Super Bowl and get fired. So Sirianni has to do what he has to do because his ass will get fired too, even though he won a Super Bowl and been to 2.
He'll be like George Seifert. With a great win percentage, he'll get blown out.
Because player empowerment will trump the current coach in today's society, and that just is what it is. We're in a jersey swap era, is what I call it. We'd rather fucking swap a jersey after the game. Dan, you and I lose a game. We're fucking. You ain't seen. I'm not talking to you, and I'm not gonna fucking swap a jersey, and I'm not gonna fucking dap you up and shake your hand and hug you after.
I was a horrible loser, man.
Here's the thing though, the NBA first game of the season, and it's the last one I watched the first, and that's the last every year. I watched the first game, and then Cleveland and fucking, I don't know, Boston played or whatever, and they lost. And they're fucking on the fucking court for 20 minutes after the game, hugging, dapping it up, chilling. First game of the NBA season. We wouldn't even have saw them talk to each other. They got 82 games. They're both getting to the locker room. These motherfuckers are swapping jerseys and shit. I'm like, holy shit, man. We have become so goddamn pussy. It's unbelievable.
Hey, Coach, let me throw this at you here. So I'm on the field with Jimmy Johnson, and, man, he's railing me. He's in my ass. I've told these people this story. He's kicking he goes, you got to do this. And I go, finally, I threw my helmet down. I go, fuck, why are you on my ass? He turned and looked at me and goes, Hey, son, worry when I'm not on your ass.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I went like this, dude. The whole room went like this. They went quiet, and I went. He goes, "You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
When I'm not on your ass, kid, I got Cortez Kennedy and Russell Maryland behind your ass. I'll fucking bring those dudes in right now." And I went like this. Yes, sir. I got back in there, man. That was the end of that conversation, man.
Recruit to replace. I don't think people realize. Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, recruit to replace. Myself, hey, best recruiter in the country, because guess what? I'm going to go recruit to replace your ass. Doesn't mean I don't love you, but guess what? Fart in the wind, and I smell it, your ass is out.
Hey.
So that's just what it is. Nowadays, we don't have that no more, because now we live in a portal era where now if I have two good quarterbacks, one's leaving. So now I can't even cuss you out because I'll have no quarterbacks. It's so soft, man. It's unbelievable. But listen, I want to let you know something real quick. Sean King was here over the weekend. He's on my show 3 times a week, and he came down from Vegas, stayed the weekend here, and he lost me every bet that he picked. But he said, "Tell Dan to tell you hello, man." Super Bowl champ.
Man, I love that dude, man. He's good people. You have great guests on your show. I got 2 more things I want to ask you. First and foremost, I know Lane Kiffin very well, and
So do I.
Speaking with him over the weekend, and I'm sure you do. Obviously, Luther Campbell, who's the head coach down at Edison, down in South Florida. He and him are very close as well. And, I don't think he's leaving Oxford, man. I just think he's entrenched in that place now. Layla's back with him. His ex-wife, they're trying to work it out together. LSU looks like a great job. I know they flew a plane in yesterday to try to entice him to bring him around Baton Rouge, whatever that means. Gators are obviously a name. In your opinion, do you think he stays in Oxford, or do you think he takes that LSU or Florida job, or does he stay?
Chomp, chomp, baby. He's a Gator.
Really? Now, here's the thing. Here's the history. Layla's dad is John Reeves. Okay? And there's ties to Gainesville, and he knows the culture there, and he knows all the people in Florida because of his pop, Bonnie Kiffin, and all that. He grew up there. She grew up there. So you think that's the swing in this whole thing?
Lane's getting older, man. I mean, listen, I know he's got the oldest kid in Oxford. Here's the issue. What's Lane like?
Well, he's a lot different today than he was 7 years ago. I'll tell you that. He's more.
What's he like, though? What does he like in life?
Winning.
No.
Money.
Pussy and boats. So at the end of the day, guess what Florida has a lot of? Oceanfront properties, boats, water. Guess where he lived when he was at FAU?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I got pictures of him sending me fucking pictures, watching me on Netflix, sending me pictures, and he's on the fucking boat flossing and clowning me. So he wants to be on the water. No offense, Mississippi. Listen, I think there's 2 jobs he will leave for. If Sark leaves Texas, he goes to Austin. They're best friends. And Florida. That's it. That's my opinion.
Sark would go to the NFL, in your opinion, right? That's how
I think Sark's out. There's some other things going on there. I think Sark's out.
You think he goes to New York?
Nashville.
Takes the Nashville job. I got one last one for you. What'd you make of the hiring of James Franklin at Virginia Tech?
Love it. He's from that area. I'm a good friend of James. Me and James been in many titty bars together. Great dude. Great recruiter from the DMV area. He was the old coach in waiting in Maryland back with Ralph Friedgen back in the day when coach in waiting thing was a big thing. Remember that?
Yep.
Manny Diaz was Mac Brown's coach in waiting at fucking Texas. Remember that? And then the whole shit just – here's the thing. He's going to get you 9-10 wins a year. Is he going to beat a top 10 team? Is he going to get you over the hump? Is he going to win a natty? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. The ACC is a lot easier to win than a Michigan, Ohio State every year. I'd rather face no offense, a Miami who we don't know if they're up or down year to year, and a Florida State with the same scenario who's probably going to replace their guy. And who else is in there? Are we baking Belichick turns this around? So I'm just telling you right now, I think it's a great fit. I think the expectation level isn't at Penn State level. It isn't at an SEC level.
That's right.
So he goes in there and listen, Virginia's doing a great job and coach is doing a great job there. But at the end of the day, I think it's a great fit for him, and I think he ends up finishing his career here.
I want to sneak this in. Penn State is now that Matt Rule has signed that extension at Nebraska.
Drink's the guy.
Who is?
Drink. It's a done deal from what I hear.
Really?
Missouri's guy, yeah.
Huh? You think he can win a national championship there?
No.
Why?
I don't think you win at Penn State. I love it. I don't know if you can win there because I don't think you can draw enough Southern kids to the snow. And the only way Ohio State does it is because Urban made that thing a attraction spot destination, and Ohio State continues to be that relevant piece.
He took the pipelines from the Gators, and guess what? You are dead on, Coach, because what is one of the biggest pipelines that they have going to Columbus? It's St. Thomas Aquinas, and it's Columbus. All those kids the top flight kids don't go to Miami. They go to Ohio State. That's the big pipeline. All them Boza kids, they went to Columbus. Not one of those kids ever entertained going to Miami. That's Michael Irvin's old place. All those kids used to come down to Miami. Cardinal Newman, all them places down there. And that's correct. So you're saying that, again, Columbus and Ohio State is really the only Midwest team, and it's why they compete against the SEC teams, is because they get the kids and they've convinced the kids to come up and play in Columbus. I think you're dead on.
Yeah. Michigan has become, I love Michigan. The head coach is a good friend of mine, Coach Moore. Here's the issue. Ohio State's the only school that can actually become their actual, what we call selector. They're the only selector that's left in that conference. And I don't even believe SC is a selector school anymore. Back in the day, we used to have selector schools, Miami and Florida State and Alabama, of course, and USC, Georgia. Clemson has become one. Now that we don't know about them. Ohio State's been one for a long time. Michigan used to be. I don't think they are anymore. Texas, maybe. But now the selector school, Michigan has to win with blue-collar, steel mill type of guys that Harbaugh wants to run the football with 35 times in a row, as they did with J.J. McCarthy when they beat Penn State that year on the way to a natty. You have to win that way at Michigan. Ohio State, you can win nationally and go get a Smith from Florida and a wide receiver that can come. Michigan ain't doing that. Have you seen it? Have you seen any of those other schools?
No.
Ohio State's the only school that is a selector school, meaning last minute I can go in and take your best player from committing to Michigan. I can get them to decommit and snatch them. So that's the only school. I think Indiana is a 4-loss team in the SEC.
I do too.
So,
you see their non-conference who they play?
It's a joke.
I mean,
it's a joke. That's the problem.
I'm not buying Indiana. I'm just not.
I'm not. Man. You know what? I'm not sold on Ohio State though this year.
Neither am I.
They haven't played anybody since Texas, and they won what 10-9.
Yeah.
And Texas is what they are. So that
A&M team, coach, might be real this year. I don't know. Man. I have a problem with them, but they look real, right? Or do you think it's Georgia?
I don't know. But then I see him against South Carolina come out flat as hell after their head coach Elko gets an extension, and I'm like, oh, that extension should have made them beat them by 50. They go down 30-3 to South Carolina, and then I'm like, oh shit, is this another situation? I don't know, man. It's so hard. It's so hard, Dan, now because college football is something I don't bet on because you can't with these 17 to 21-year-old prima donnas.
Transfer portal, all
this shit. I'm glad it's going back to one-time portal. That'll help out, in my opinion.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know, man. I got to see Ohio State. I would like to see them play. We're going to find out who's real this week when SC and Oregon go at it before the season ends. Those two go. I'm curious to see that because I'm not sold on Lincoln and SC out west here where I'm at. And I'm hearing Lincoln's name as the LSU replacement. So throwing that out there too.
Wow, Lincoln Riley going to LSU. Wow. That would be a massive upgrade. And plus, he would be able to recruit some defensive guys there. Hey, Coach, you're absolutely awesome, bro. I mean, please tell the folks where they can find you, man. I know a lot of people, man, they give me so many great, even my aunt likes you. I love it, man. And I love that fact. So I appreciate you doing it.
Is the girl in your chat Barbara Carroll? I think she's a dude. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm a good judge of character. That's what made me the best recruiter, man. So I think she's a dude. But hey, it is what it is. I guess all women nowadays have dicks. But listen, man, you can find me on the Coach JB show every morning, man. 6 in the morning to 9 on the West Coast, 9 to noon on the East Coast. And, it is what it is. You can get my merch. Make me a sandwich. T-shirts just dropped. I don't know who's on the back. It's just a girl.
Hey, can I tell you what I did? Listen to this. So years ago, I got so much trouble, man, with Erin Andrews. She was going back and forth with me, and she started talking shit to me. I go, Erin.
Oh, Erin Andrews?
I go like this, Erin, go make me a sandwich. And people don't realize what happened. You know what happened? She's a Gator chick, and her dad used to go at me when I was on WDAE in the morning, so they were going at me. Finally, I got so pissed off, and I got suspended for this thing. I go like this,
really?
Hey, Erin, do me a favor. Go make me a sandwich. And I got in so much trouble.
Yeah, I know a lot of things about that. So ask her how it was when she tried to fuck Chip Kelly. But anyway, man, hey, appreciate you guys. Hey, Barb, hit me up in my DMs.
Thank you so much. Oh, my God. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you, man.